Hey, this is James, Jimmy T. Meslin, sitting quite literally in the middle of the Dream Theater recording sessions, surrounded by all their backline, from drum kits to guitar rigs, bass rigs. I wanted to talk about some of the really cool stuff that I've used from SE Electronics on the recording session. I knew that I wanted to capture the room in a really good way, so I'm using the SE RNTs and the RNR1s as a fundamental sound or a glue to the drum set. Kit is covered in spot mics, 46 mics in total. So of those 46, there's about 4 microphones that are capturing that glue, and that's the RNR1 and the RNT. One set in a Blumlein, the RNR1s, and the other in an Omni AB, that's the RNTs. They're set high and wide. It gives that really big rock modern sound, so that's cool. The kit is the Siamese monster. So there's a left and a right. It's really 2 kits built into one big rack. So I've got 2 sets of overheads. They're both the same. I really wanted consistency in this recording session as he switched between the 2 kits. So the main focus on the overheads is the XY, which are the RN17s. Again, another SE Rupert Neve Designs collaboration. What's really cool about that is the transformer they have strapped onto the end of those microphones. So they're pencil mics, but they have this big, low-end warmth and still maintains that fast transient. There's tons of things to close mic on the kit. I've got SE8s covering majority of the spot mics, all the cymbals and intricacies he's got going on there. Portnoy is a really detailed player if he switches between splashes and bells and then goes to the heavy hitting cymbals. So you need to make sure that competes, so you need spots. I've got everything covered drum-wise. Those include V7s and 4400As. Both very musical and gave me exactly what I needed to get Mike the sound he was comfortable with. Essentially, when drums wrapped, the writing of the record was wrapped. We moved on to overdub for guitars. And working with Petrucci is such a pleasure. He's got a really well-tuned ear, and when he hears something, he voices it, and we chase that path. A lot of times, we are fortunate that we align in the sound we're looking for, and we went down a big rabbit hole to get to where we are. And I couldn't be more proud of that. And in the end, the recipe was really simple. The core of it, we ended up with the VR2 and the 4400A as the core of his rhythm and lead tones. There's some other tricks and preamps and things going on in there, but undoubtedly without those 2 microphones, we wouldn't have settled on the sound that he's in love with. Now flash forward to where we are today, which is in the middle of bass tracking. We're lucky enough that this is Dream Theater Studios, so I'm surrounded by their stuff still mic'd up, and we have an infrastructure to support that as of filming this, and we're in the midst of a massive bass tracking session. Right behind me are tons of cabs, and we got to listen and audition to each, and what we settled on is actually a really simple combination, which is a strong DI sound, a preamp, and 1 mic'd cab with an SE Gemini 2, which is totally nostalgic for me. It was my leap into going, this is what I'm really doing, and I'm gonna invest money into this path. And that was 13 years ago. I took that plunge and I got an SE Gemini 2, and it became my vocal microphone, my tambourine, my guitar, and today, my bass cabinet. Even though Dream Theater is known for the heavy riffs and the progressive moments of a million notes at once, there are intimate moments, and there's a lot of layering, specifically acoustic guitar. And John has a really specific sound in mind he goes for. You know, that's part of the cool thing about recording a band that has a legacy. They're identified with specific sounds. And to fill those shoes of capturing that magical acoustic sound he's looking for, I relied on the SE Space Filter. We have a really nice room here to work in. We actually recorded him in the booth, but to give that in-your-face, no interruption feel, the Space Filter is the only thing I know that does it that good. It sucks you right in. You can play with the distance between your source and where you're setting the microphone in the filter, but ultimately what it gives you is usable information, strictly usable information. There's no weird overtone or room ambience, so if you're going for that in-your-face sound and like right in the listener's ears, you need one of these to do that. I'm really excited about the way things are shaping up so far. I think that's going to reflect in a pretty clear way when the record does come out, but until then, there's a lot more recording to do.